it's a Magic Mermaid here today, and today I'm so excited as it is part 3 of the Mermaid Bootcamp series of how to build your unique mersona and character. So today we'll be diving down deep onto style, which I am actually been really looking forward to do. Today I am dressed as one of my characters called Eve. She is the Halloween mermaid. So today, the first thing I would like to go over is elements. When you are designing your character, you may want to look down the elements scheme of things. Whether you want to be a fire mermaid, whether you want to be a water mermaid, whether you want to be an earth mermaid, or whether you want to be an air mermaid kind of colour scheme. Because this will help you to, this I will explain why, because it will help with all the next things that I am going to say about. So the next things that I would like to go on to is your hair and wigs. Some mermaids, both professional and hobby, like to go and use their natural hair, which is completely fine because if you are a natural mermaid, you will not want to wear wigs. But you may be like some of us other professional mermaids who would like to wear wigs, because this helps separate our identity from being human to being mermaid. And also with our lovely wigs, we get to change up our colours of our hair without ruining our real hair underneath. For example, this one was off Team U, and it has not changed anything in the seawater. It has not done anything in chlorine water. It has stayed completely, absolutely natural. Like, it hasn't done anything with water or anything. All I do is shampoo and condition it afterwards, which keeps it really lovely and soft and keeps it nice and straight-ish. So if that is the other thing to consider, is your hair and wigs. We'll be going on to now your lovely makeup. Makeup is also a really big key for when you are designing your character, because, for example, as Eve, she is a Halloween mermaid. Her tail is yellows, pinks and purples, so I like to try and keep it incorporated with my face, which is my obviously eyeshadows and things. So you can also incorporate that. But maybe you are a lovely natural mermaid and you don't want any makeup at all, or if you do, it's a very little bit of makeup. So have a mess around with your makeup, because, as I say, kids will get to know what you look like, and they will know your kind of colour scheme and eyeshadow and hair and things like that. So the next thing that we'll be going on to is style, and that includes your accessories. A lot of us mermaids like to either buy things in and help our local makers. That might be starfish hair clips, it might be starfish necklaces, it might be scale necklaces, it could be any type of necklace. But also, us mermaids also like to include like bracelets, wraps around our tails, our hair. It could be little things in our hair, it could be necklaces, jewellery, earrings, anything like that really. That is a big part, because also the kids like to, if you are working with children, they like to mess with your necklaces. Oh my gosh, isn't that a pretty necklace? They like to see whether you've got bracelets on and things like that. So consider your accessories a lot. But now this is coming into quite a bit of a deeper one for the professional mermaids. When you are designing your character for a professional side of things, as a company, and say you are your own unique mermaid and you are working and you got your own unique mermaid business, you will want to consider your colour scheme. Your colour scheme is very, very important. You may want to try and only use 2 or 3 colours for doing a business side, because that way you will be unique, people will find you easier, and it'll be easy for the kids to remember you and spot you. So try and keep it to like 3 colours. For example, if that was for me, which is not really, but if I went into that side of things, my 3 colours for Eve would be pink, yellow, and purple, because that is her 3 main colours. So if I went to do that, that would be her 3 things in her colour scheme. It might be the fact that you are working in an aquarium and you want to be the one who stands out in the aquarium. So you will, as a business side, you will think, I want to be oranges because it will stand out against the blue. It might be that you be purples and pinks as well. It could be that you're very bright blue and very bright purple and things like that. So it could be that as well. But from a professional side of that side and looking into that, try and keep to 3 colours for your colour scheme. Also on that note, we'll be going on to now tail design. And for your tail design, that also wants to be similar to your colour scheme. You'll want to keep it to like 3 colours maybe on your tail when you're colour designing your tail. And that's if you use also a silicone tail. Maybe from Nation, Finfrank, Taylor. They are the 3 that do silicone tails. But you also want to consider, from a professional side, your tail colours, your tail shape. So that'll be your fluke shape. And you also want to consider your scale pattern. Your scale pattern is also very important. It could be that it's big, large scales. It could be that it's very small scales. Also consider hip fins, dorsal fins, calf fins, also that kind of thing. You might want to have the whole caboodle and look really beautiful, but say you are working with children and you're not in an aquarium and you're doing it dry land and you're literally holding children, being around children constantly, but you may not want hip fins because they might get trodden on, for one. They might get a bit damaged if children are trying to find a seat to sit next to you. So these are all things to consider when you are designing your tail. Just like look down whether you want hip fins, dorsal fins and things, what scale pattern you want it to be, what tail colour you want it to be. And as I say, from a professional side, try and keep it to 3 colours. It doesn't matter so much if you're not a professional and you're just doing it as a hobby mermaid. I can suggest, if you would like me to do another separate video of where to get tails, where to get wigs, where to get good makeup, so please put that in the comments below of whether you'd like me to consider doing that thing for you. But yeah, so when doing it as a professional, these are all things you have got to consider, and especially if you are like as a brand mermaid, you want to like make sure you stick to like 3 colours. These kind of things you want to consider scale pattern and things like that so that you stand out really. As I say, I can go down with these for Eve. She is a Halloween mermaid as her element. I wear a wig for her. My makeup is purple, yellow and orange for her. My colour scheme is purple, yellow and orange. Her tail is purple, yellow and orange with like coordinating different colour spots. At the top of my tail it is purple spots going into yellow spots and orange spots. And that tail is done by Finfrank Productions, and that is one of their signature fabric tails, which is another thing that I can talk about if you'd like me to do, as I say, is where you can get fabric tails, where you can get silicone tails. But I think that is all I need to really cover in styles today, is double check your elements and see what element you'd like to kind of lead under, whether you'd like to wear wigs or have your natural hair, whether you want to have makeup and be bright and colourful or dull, or whether you just want to have no makeup at all. Your styles is your accessories, and start looking into those. But also with your accessories, you can always help a local business and they will absolutely love it, because there's plenty of local businesses that now do mermaid things. Or you might consider being a DIY mermaid and doing it yourself, and that is quite fun. Doing your own DIY necklaces out of resin and all things like that. So consider that. Your colour scheme, what colours you want to be, and your tail, and that includes your tail design, your tail scales, tail shape, and all things like that to consider. But there's also both, whether you're doing it as a hobby and professional. So I hope the third instalment has been really, really helpful to you guys today. Just make sure it's really fun, because I've actually been really enjoying doing these videos with you guys and going over this. It's been really fun. I haven't made it homework. I've just been sitting here doing it and going along with it because it's really fun, actually. The next one I will be going on to is your personal preferences, which is likes and dislikes, and so personal preferences and your traits. So that is my next thing I will be going on to, and that will be part 4, because after that we'll be going on to part 5, which will be your backstory, on how to build your backstory, and then I will add in a 6th one, which will be evolution. So it will be a 6-part series, but I hope that this has been really helpful to you guys, whether you are starting up as a mermaid or whether you already just want to just kind of refresh over all these bits and pieces. If I haven't mentioned anything in the comments, please put it down below, and to help any other mermaids out. As I say, maybe you might want to help each other out and say where you get each other's makeup from, your wigs, where you get your wigs from, where you get your different accessories from, where you get your tails from. I really want it to be a place where we all help each other, not to hide it away from each other. So yeah, I hope that you enjoy this video, and bye for now, and I will catch you on the next video.